Let's get into some movie reviews.
Yeah.
This is the show for movie reviews. I'm gonna start with one, and it's not a movie. It's a TV show.
Oh, the Hell House?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Yeah, this is interesting.
Okay, so my first review for the night is a Netflix TV show called The Haunting of Hill House, which I thought was straight up amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I say this and he says wow now because my brother Justin
They're having a flame war
just
about it.
straight up said the movie wasn't, or he does not like the show so far. He hasn't finished it yet, but he says I think the acting's amazing. I don't know what he's talking about.
Wow, that's funny. I'm gonna have to go in on this, I guess, and it'd be
the thing is,
vote.
I think it was advertised as like the scariest thing on Netflix right now. It is not. It's a very character-driven thing. It's almost like a same kind of not premise as it, but like the back and forth.
Okay,
it's
like jumping from character.
It's
to
like
character.
parts with their kids, and it jumps to like what they're doing present day kind of thing.
Yeah.
So my quick little review, and I highly recommend.
Yeah.
The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
And my brother's even pointed out that he's one of the few that doesn't like it.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard nothing but good things, really.
I just want to get that out of the way. I think I wrote that down right when Justin was
okay.
going on about how the show was.
You just want it known that you're a fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try to go in on that and be the deciding vote, I guess, because in between two Vickery brothers, you got, one that really likes
because
it.
I went on to about the show about how great it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's freaking messaging back saying it's not that great. I think it's amazing.
How many episodes?
There's 10.
10? He's like 7 in?
Yeah.
Wow, he's not like it at all. I guess like props to him, I guess. Like, why would you, if you're hating it that much, why would you finish it? Like, I'll give a show like 2 episodes.
The first episode, it can be boring to me. There has to be that one moment in the first episode that makes you go, I want to keep watching this. Like Iron Fist is a perfect example. I did not like Iron Fist, and because nothing really happens in the first episode, and nothing really happens in the second one, so I was like, this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I think I stopped after the second episode for sure. Now moving on to a couple little reviews for actual movies. I had a little movie binge this past week. To start with, I watched A House with a Clock in Its Walls. And that's Jack Black's latest movie. I don't know why I went in thinking it was supposed to be a good movie.
Yeah, I didn't hear that it was any good or anything.
It's pretty boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty strange. Like,
yeah. I know it's not Disney, but it falls into the line with like one of those Disney movies that just keeps coming.
It's your cliche kid with magic powers movie. Jack Black's like a warlock, and he had dog he has his nephew move in with him, and which it's pretty lame when it's just like, oh, how do I get magic powers? Oh, read this book. Like I know Doctor Strange was kind of like that. Yeah. But they did it well.
Yeah.
This one does not do it that well. Because it's almost like, there's no I wouldn't call it a montage that Doctor Strange had, but it's literally like the next scene, he's
good at it. Yeah. He's good at magic.
Yeah. So it was pretty, I'd probably give it down right in the middle of 5 out of 10.
So why did these people build a house?
Okay, so the premise is...
So I don't get it.
Okay, so the premise of this movie is Jack Black's character lives in the house, and his old partner, where they did magic tricks and whatnot, went crazy and was trying to do this spell or whatever, and it backfired and he died. But for some reason left a clock hidden in the house somewhere, and so if it stops ticking or whatever, something bad's gonna happen.
Okay.
So the whole movie, Jack Black's trying to find this clock, and it's locked because he can't find it.
Oh, it's only one clock.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was more?
Because if you saw the trailer, there's a lot of clocks.
Okay.
Because he goes into about how he thought he was just crazy, so he got a whole whack of clocks to like
How
come
hard could it be to find
Watch the
where
movie,
what
man.
clock is?
They have to use like magic to find it, man. You know. Anywho, I for some reason went to this thinking it was a good movie,
Okay, yeah.
and I
Like
was
you were
like,
expecting a good movie.
yeah,
Ooh.
and no, which I'll move on to the one movie that I thought was going to be decent ended up being pure garbage.
What's that?
The Predator.
Oh yeah. Okay. Even after it came out, because you went on this pretty recently,
Yeah.
and you still thought it was gonna be good.
I could have swore I read something saying it was good.
Oh yeah.
I
okay.
watched it,
I
man.
didn't hear anything
It
good
is
about it.
trash.
Yeah.
It tries way too hard to be funny, and none of the
Yeah.
humor is funny. It falls flat.
Mm-hmm.
It has a decent cast.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got I forget his name, but he played the main guy is Pearson, Logan.
Yeah.
He has I think he has like a funky name, but he's the main guy. It has Sterling K. Brown, who I've already went on about how that's my favorite name in the world. It has Olivia Munn. It has Thomas Jane. It has
Keegan-Michael.
Keegan-Michael Key. It even has another guy. I think he's famous from Game of Thrones. And even the kid that's in the movie is Jacob Tremblay. He was in the movie called
Wonder.
Room. Not The Room.
Yeah, Room and
Room.
Wonder, right?
Wonder, yes.
Yeah.
And wow. And then on top of that, it's directed by Shane Black, who was in the original Predator.
The original, yeah.
And
And he's done like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
pretty solid
is
flicks.
one of my favorite movies of all time.
And it's just no.
Yeah.
And I read some headlines of the thing saying like they went through like terrible reshoots. The first test screening was garbage, so they had to like rush to fix things. I'm going to go in spoiler territory here.
You going to?
Yeah,
Do it.
for right now. Okay, so Sterling K. Brown's in the movie. He is like the head honcho of this organization that like studies the Predator. Like they know this movie is it's not a reboot. It's a continuity.
Because that's I've heard that. So Gary Busey is in the second Predator,
Yeah.
the Predator or Predator 2,
Yeah.
and Jake Busey, Gary Busey's real life son,
Yeah, he-
plays that character's
Son.
son.
Yeah, he's in like one scene.
But so you've never seen Predator or Predator 2, like
I've seen Predator 1 and I've seen Predators.
Predators. Predator 2, I've never seen. I've actually never even seen the first Predator, but I've seen clips, a lot of clips of both of them, and just like watching things on YouTube. And Predator 2 is freaking insane looking. Like it's it came out in the 80s or whatever, but it's like it's set in Los Angeles, like in the city, and it's just like the weirdest looking
It's
thing. So like
Donald Glover. Well, not Donald Glover.
Danny
Glover.
Danny
yeah.
Glover, yeah.
He's the main guy
like the
number
main guy.
2.
But the city is just like this weird, it's just bizarre. Like I don't know
like
if
a
you've seen
dystopian
anything.
kind of like a weird. I kind of seen clips of it. I kind of seen
Yeah.
a little bit. I
It like takes place like it's supposed to be in like the modern time, but it's also kind of like people are just going around shooting and like it's just this weird
so no.
unrealistic thing.
So-
So like for this movie to take place in the same continuity as that
Yeah.
makes it seem like how is that at all possible?
So-
But then again, I don't really know what's going on in this movie anyway. Like, are people?
Okay, so the premise of the movie is basically it starts off like instantly. Like you have the main guy, he's like your army dude. He's after some bad guys, and meanwhile, a freaking spaceship crashes in the ground, and then bam, it's the Predator. It kills like his 3 partners. Blah 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 blah. And then I think does he kill it, or he injures it, or someone else kills or captures this Predator. Anyhow, so like basically,
So it's either injured.
no,
killed,
okay, they
or
capture him because and I think like the next
Anything
scene when
could-
they're at because it skips to like Olivia Munn, who plays like this doctor or whatever. She gets randomly recruited by these people. They're like, oh hey, or like scientists and whatnot.
Yeah.
Come check out this alien body because you got the qualifications
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
And then, so like there's this, so I really want to talk about Sterling K. Brown's character, about how weird it goes. So
Yeah.
he's on, I think it's called Project Stargazer. I think that's the project that he's the head honcho of, and he's like, he knows all about the predators. You know, he has like the glass case full of like their helmets and like other weapons and whatnot. And like,
How?
I didn't notice it until I watched something else. Like they even have like a weapon that's only in like Alien vs Predator. So it's hard to take. So it's hard to tell where this movie
Yeah.
takes
And
place.
then there's Predator Dogs, which is from Predators,
Yeah.
right? In this movie,
Yeah.
So
And
they're all canon, even the
Yeah,
Alien
I
vs
guess
Predator
so.
movies.
so like basically Sterling K. Brown's character, he's a dick to everyone. He's like obsessed with these creatures and whatnot. And then in the meantime, you got the main guy's son, Jacob Tremblay, basically somehow smart enough to like hack into like a Predator computer.
Well, that's the thing. That's another thing that I've heard about this is he's autistic, right?
Yes.
Like the kid's autistic, so that means he's like, really good at everything.
Yeah.
Which is like a really terrible message to
and-
be sending.
The weird thing about this kid in this movie is he's completely okay with like murder.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he's like the movie takes place around Halloween time, and there's a scene where so main guy gets before he gets captured and the alien predator predator gets captured before the main guy. He runs away, but before he does, he grabs there's like a predator helmet on the ground, so he grabs that because he wanted proof that these things exist or whatever, right? So he gets like mailed to his home.
Okay.
He gets into it. It's the Predator mask that's like triggers like all like the computers and whatnot that he's instantly good at. And so anyway, so he goes trick or treating wearing the Predator mask. Someone throws a rock at his head, and the thing like instantly like has a gun like pop out of its helmet, shoots the guy, and the kid just shrugs it off and like walks away.
Continues trick or treating.
Yeah. Like he's seen this thing kill.
Yeah.
And like this other scene, like it even gets weirder. Like his like when he meets up with his dad to it, like later parts of the movie, his dad's like killing people like right in front of him.
Doesn't phase him.
Yeah, there's even like a scene where it's like he kills a guy, and then he tells someone else like, oh, if you don't cooperate with me, I'm gonna start killing people. And
His dad.
yeah, and then like his
Sounds
son's like, Dad, he goes. Then they look back at the first guy he killed. He goes, okay, starting now, I'll start killing people if people don't cooperate. So yeah, Sterling gets sidetracked. So it's because it's what frustrated me most of this movie, because he's the dick. He's he's obsessed with these creatures. So he gets into like the technology. So as the movie goes on, original Predator gets killed by bigger Predator.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
So now that's the target. But then, so they all get like, it's almost like they got like, so the main guy and Sterling K. Brown through the scenes are in, they butt heads, just like any other movie, I guess. But they finally like, let's agree to be friends right now, just to take down the common enemy. But they're like, we're gonna deal with our problems once this is done. Sterling K. Brown, he puts on the helmet that the kid wore, right? And he asks the kid how it works, and he goes, oh, it's like a self-defense thing. Whatever, right? So we're getting to I'm skipping all the way to the very classic murder scene where it's just one by one the predators taking down these characters, right? In the midst of this scene, it shows Sterling K. Brown wearing this technology, and I forget what he yells, or someone yells at him, and literally the helmet just takes the gun out and shoots itself in the head, and he's dead. It happened so quick, I literally had to rewind and be like, who just died? And I was like, wow, it was him. And like I looked into it, like other people were like, yeah, I had to rewatch the scene to be like, did he honestly just die that way? Like it was building up to like maybe him trying to take on the Predator by himself, blah 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 blah, and it backfires and whatnot.
But okay, so it seems like so it's programmed to like deal with threats.
Yeah.
Against this, the kid gets a rock thrown out of it, then it just
like
kills
shoots,
that guy.
yeah. But
Why
then,
would you
like,
choose to shoot
that's the thing
yourself
people
in
are
the
saying.
face?
Either he yells someone's name or someone yells his name, and the thing just like takes its own gun, turns around.
Himself? That's retarded.
Yeah, and then so Blood Bing, they take down this giant predator thing. So we find out original predator was actually on the human side. He was trying to help out the humans. That's why he showed up first, because he had a gift for the humans to survive against these bigger. What is it? Basically, an Iron Man suit shaped like Predator style. And that's how the movie ends.
Oh.
With the guy going, "That's my new suit."
Oh.
And even I read that the writer, he's like, "This ending is stupid," because he was like, "We try to be like a horror type Predator movie, and it ends like a superhero movie."
Oh,
It is
man.
like, oh man, it's straight up trash.
Yeah.
Like,
oh.
I don't recommend anyone to watch The Predator,
Wow.
especially with all the hope that was going into it,
yeah.
with the casting and the background, with the people that were into the original one were coming in to do this, and nada.
Wow.
So that one. Oh, sorry, not that one. But that one. But one movie that I actually watched, I enjoyed after watching two movies that were like meh and awful, was I watched the newest Mission Impossible movie.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, very good things.
I've read that this is like the best one of the six. It's a busy movie, a lot of things going on, but it's done pretty well. I give it like an 8 out of 10, if I have to give it the old number rating. My issue with it is, I was telling you early, is they rely too much on this gimmick that I assume this franchise is known for. Because I've only seen 4, 5, and 6. Okay, from what I get, you don't need to see. They like
1 through 3.
5 and 6, they kind of connect a little bit. There's a character that, but it's mostly the same cast. But like story wise, you don't need to. Like number 6, they tell you who this guy is, so you don't really need to see number 5 kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this gimmick that they have in these movies where they can like put on pretty damn realistic mask of people, and I thought it was clever a couple times. This movie does it like 3 times, where I'm like, okay, like
Too much.
too much.
Yeah.
It's your typical. Storyline wise, it's your typical. We gotta get the nuclear bombs before the bad guys trigger it and these cities blow up kind of thing. I gotta bring up that Henry Cavill's mustache. This movie is spot on.
As opposed to it in Justice League,
Yeah.
where it looks awful.
So I thought it was a really fun action movie. I highly recommend it. Give it a watch.
I'm gonna watch it. Eventually. I've only seen the second one, and apparently it's the worst one out of all 6 of them. Like it's like I've heard the first one's pretty good, and 3 is when it really starts to pick up.
Right.
That was the J.J.
But then-
Abrams one, and then 4.
I think there's
is
a
like,
huge gap years-wise between 3
yeah,
and 4.
and then 4 people like really loved. 5 was a little mixed, and then now there's been nothing but good things.
Which is crazy because the product, me following the movies like I do, how they get made and all that. Number 6, a trailer came out for that a month maybe before the movie came out. It was so weird, because the production got delayed because Tom Cruise got hurt on set.
Yes.
He broke his ankle or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but they didn't move the release date for the movie. So by the time they were finished, they only had X amount of time. But you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
There was no lack of anything that wow, this suffered from a rushed date.
Yeah. Yeah, very good things.
And the scene where he breaks his ankles in it, they obviously fix it a little bit, but it shows him limping after this jump, and I'm like, that's when he broke his ankle.
Guy's a madman.
Yeah.
He is going to.
It's crazy watching all this, knowing that Tom Cruise did
all
half
that.
these stunts. No, not half. He does them all.
Yeah.
But obviously they're not as crazy as he looked. But they clearly don't have him dangling from a helicopter high in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of started, with that first one. It looking back, I haven't even watched the first one, but I know, the first big stunt in all of these was, and he's running away from the water, and like it just, I think that's what triggered it all. In the second one, there's he lets like a knife get within like a centimeter of his eye and like come down and like.
And like
Which,
now
like,
it's like
obviously-
insanely more impressive now because he's like in his 50s, man, and he's still
Doing like the last one he was hanging on a plane. This one he
Like-
breaks his ankle, like
this one,
jumping
like-
between buildings.
yeah, and he's like dangling off like a helicopter in the
Yeah.
air, and it's just it's pretty amazing watching this and go, oh man, that's Tom Cruise. Like
Yeah.
he gets
Yeah,
he gets a lot of slack for like his outer what he does outside of his movies.
But
The dude when he's in a
he's
movie,
an okay actor.
Yeah.
Like he is an okay actor. I think people can't separate his personal life and you know how quirky and like his antics he gets up to, but like guy can act. One of my favorite movies of all time is Magnolia, which Paul Thomas. My daughter's exactly. My daughter's middle name is Magnolia, based on that movie. Yeah, it actually is this movie. He is in a movie called Magnolia by Paul Thomas Anderson. One of my favorite movies of all time. Daughter's middle name, Magnolia. He's in that movie, and it's an amazing performance. One of the highlights of that movie for sure. And so like he can act when he wants to, and then he can do all these stunts, and he's like one of the biggest stars in the world, and people are just like they keep letting him do this. He will get himself killed one day.
it's
I'm
just
sure of it.
it was just pretty great about how fun this movie was.
Yeah.
Like and like it does the perfect thing of like just giving into like we're a goofy spy thing where it's like you won't believe like obviously it's like a lot of technology and basically all the technology in this movie is like nothing that exists today. Right?
Yeah, even those mask things.
Right.
Like, that doesn't. I remember that in the second movie, but
like
it definitely didn't exist back then. I don't think it exists even to this day, where like
You get, like,
looks
identical-
like you're that person.
yeah. So it was pretty fun. I thought Henry Cavill was great in the movie.
Yeah.
Won't get into spoiler territory, but like he has a nice little character arc and whatnot, and it's busy in a good way. There's always something fun going on. There's never a dull moment. It brings in most of the characters from 4, 5, and 6. The only one missing is Jeremy Renner. He was too busy doing the Avengers movie, so he couldn't go do this one. He was in 4 and 5. But no, it was pretty great. Last one that I've seen that we both didn't see,
Bumblebee.
Okay. I figured I'd add Aquaman. We'll both talk.
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
talk about it.
Bumblebee was it wasn't as good as I was hoping it'd be, but it was still good. It's very toned down. It's a very character-driven type thing. You hadn't seen the Transformers outside of the first one, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah.
Even in that one, like like how cluttered the fight scenes get. This one gets kudos for like calming it down. The color palette's nice and simple, so you know what's going on, kind of thing. Doesn't do well. Like if it's a soft reboot, like which it was rumored wants to be, it was fun. But there's like massive continuity errors for like future, like even like massive ones. But like the movie just came out before this one.
Okay. Yeah.
And because it's like number 6, they say Bumblebee's been around since like World War II, but this movie doesn't show up till like the 80s.
Oh god.
But I think they're just trying to ignore the previous ones just in case this was a soft. And then like, you've seen the first one.
Yeah, based on the first one, I thought they all just showed up at that point in time.
It's only implied that Bumblebee's been there longer because he's just
even
like
in the first one.
Because he's just the first one that like shows up, kind of thing. Because the main guy gets his car and it's Bumblebee, so you don't really know how long Bumblebee's been
Okay.
on it. Because you don't see, but then everyone else is introduced
Shows up
in that movie.
yeah.
Spoiler territory for people, for you. This movie ends with like Optimus Prime on Earth, and like you see in the background the rest of the asteroid things. And we're like, unless they all go back and then come back in like 20 years.
But then Yeah, so they interact with people,
Yeah.
and yet everyone's so surprised in 2007 when the
Yeah,
Transformers
because there's like
show
even
up.
like in this one there's
There's scenes in the Pentagon in the original Transformers where they're like so fucking surprised that these Transformers exist.
and like even in this one like it's like oh it's like the first time they've seen Transformers and whatnot, but like if you remember in the first one Megatron was like frozen in ice for forever, so they know who they are.
Yeah.
And like what's the group, Sector 7 or whatever, like this organization is supposed to be like this secret organization, these movies. This is the first time they've seen any of these when they're supposed to have like a frozen one of the Hoover Dam. So there's like continuity issues, but it's
like the continuity issues sound like as bad as the Fox X-Men continuity. Yeah.
So that's why I'm hoping this is supposed to be like a soft reboot kind of thing. The scenes at Cybertron are pretty amazing.
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people want just a movie set, focusing on Cybertron.
I guess the director of this one, he did say that he did shoot a scene that has Megatron on Cybertron, but he didn't want to tamper with continuity errors. But I'm like, wow, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun. It has a nice, and like, what is it? Like Bumblebee doesn't have a voice.
Oh yeah, they kind of go back to the original Transformers.
And like he does at the beginning of the movie, then I don't know, he explained how he loses his voice. I'm just like, So, but if you've seen it on Netflix or something, I recommend you to watch. I don't think you don't need to watch any of the previous Transformers.
Yeah, this might be one that I do go in on.
This one, like, where you probably benefit more with not knowing what's going on in the other one, just because of continuity errors and whatnot.
Yeah, I would probably enjoy it more. What I'm saying. Yeah, and I like that the style overhaul, that they've taken, from what I've seen. Like you get your,
Oh, and there's also like another moment where it's like in the trailers they like advertise this character. He's only in like one scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this villain that's in some of the trailers, and I'm like, I thought that was the background of the whole movie. Guess I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably one I will. Going on, it's probably a good jumping on point, I guess, for this franchise.
So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. And like they're talking about like.
But there hasn't really been any talks of where they're going next. Because I don't think this really did make that much.
It's making some money, but Mary Poppins and Aquaman came out the same weekend, a week after Spider-Man came out.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. Like all those movies came out the same weekend. Like not one budged. Like it's come out like a couple weeks later or a month later.
Yeah.
But I think it would have. I think it's making a lot of its money in like, the China market and whatnot.
Right.
But